The woman went home to visit her father and accidentally discovered that the nanny she had hired at a high cost had the audacity to lay hands on her father, who was paralyzed from the waist down. When she wasn't around, the woman immediately questioned what was going on. However, when her father was about to identify the nanny as the abuser, the nanny pressed down on her father's hand and claimed that it was all her fault for being careless and that her father had fallen because she hadn't been paying attention for a moment. Upon hearing this, the woman quickly checked her father's physical condition. Just as her father was about to identify the nanny again, the woman received a call from the company, so she had to cut the conversation short and told her father to ask the nanny for help if he needed anything. Little did she know that the nanny had been abusing her father all along. Although the woman gave her $10,000 for food expenses every month, the nanny only treated herself to delicious and rich food while making her father eat insipid boiled vegetables. What's more, the nanny even invited her lover to the house and occupied the woman's house right in front of her father. Soon, her father's health took a turn for the worse. The woman was also confused when looking at the medical report. She wondered why her father was suffering from malnutrition even though he was supposed to be having the best food and supplies every month. One day, after calling the nanny claimed that she was taking good care of her father and told the woman not to worry. But the woman was cautious. After hanging up the phone, she went straight home. At that moment, her father was just nibbling on a dry steamed bun because she suspected that he had informed the woman about her abuse. The nanny aggressively knocked the bun out of his hand and then took out a steel needle from her pocket and stabbed it into his body. Just then, the woman pushed the door open and came back, noticing that her father didn't look well. The woman immediately ran up to ask what was wrong. The nanny interrupted and said that they had just been watching TV, but the woman didn't believe it because the TV wasn't even on. At this time, her father hesitated whether to tell the woman the truth. Unexpectedly, the woman was urged by the company to go back as there were still things for her to deal with. Her father didn't have the heart to trouble her, so he said that everything was fine and told her to go back to work quickly. However, looking at the evasiveness in her father's eyes, the woman felt that something was not right. She took out the medical examination report from her bag and questioned why her father was still malnourished despite the $10,000 living expenses every month. But to her surprise, out of fear, her father kept saying that the nanny had been taking good care of him. The nanny even chimed in and then took out the pilos antler and sea cucumber from the cabinet, saying that these were all bought for her father and that she took care of him as if he were her own father. Hearing this, the woman thought she had wrongly accused the nanny, so she gave her father some instructions, put on a health monitoring bracelet for him, and then left. Little did she know that as soon as the door closed and her father's hand hadn't even dropped, the nanny slapped her father in the face on the pretext that he must have informed the woman about her abuse. The nanny threatened to teach her father a lesson, but unexpectedly, the woman's phone rang at that moment.